What's up there, guys? I'm going to try to explain this to the best of my ability. I'm making this video for Colin, who reached out to me a while ago when I first started doing modifications to the Skycontroller 2. As you know, they've made a lot of changes to the Skycontroller 2. They switched over to lithium ion, but if you have the version 1.00, the version 1 Skycontroller, it came with a Lipo battery, which is right here, but we're going to talk about what I did with this Lipo battery so you guys have an understanding of how I can run this on any Lipo and have proper battery telemetry. Inside of this was a BMS, a battery management system, just like the 3DR solo packs that I've been tearing down. So I've gotten a pretty good idea of how these battery packs work. Now this does operate the 3DR solo. This is the main battery for the drone, but this is the BMS that is currently inside of that. Well, apparently this also has some form of battery management system inside of the Parrot Skycontroller 2 battery. But when I got this, when this was given to me, and it wasn't a sponsor that gave it to me, it was just a friend who gave me the Parrot Bebop 2 and the Skycontroller that they bought refurbished. Apparently they were lied to and the guy didn't supply the right cords in the package, and I had no way to charge this, and I ended up finding out that a charger for the original version 1.00 was extremely expensive to get your hands on. It was like almost $60 to $70 for the original charger for this. So, and even the power brick was crazy expensive. So I was like, man, I really don't want to do that. So it set me out on this path of trying to figure out how to install my own Lipo battery in here and be able to charge it either on a balance charger like this one here, just a dedicated quick balance charger. I can just plug it into the 2S port, or plug it into something like my high-tech, through the XT30 connector, plug it into my hobby grade charger and go from there. So I did figure it out, and I'm going to tell you what I've come across so far. Believe it or not, the battery management system, the board that's inside of here, is not necessary. But there is a certain way that this has to be connected for the Skycontroller and the app to read proper telemetry. And it was actually way simpler than I thought it was going to be. So what I'm going to do is rip this down and show you what I've done inside of here. Yours is not going to look this sloppy. Obviously, this was a first setup, a first go around of this, but you will have to have your original Skycontroller 2 battery connector. You have to remove the connector to be able to do this job, okay? So I'm going to pull this open on the back here with you guys, and we're going to bust this open, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did all the wiring for this, okay? So let me get this open. I will try to explain this to the best of my ability here. Almost out. There we go. Okay. So now that that's off there, I can remove the Velcro. Okay, so as you can see, this is how I have it connected. I am going to unplug this from the Skycontroller 2 and show you what I got going on here. Okay. So believe it or not, this is a Bugs 3 battery for the drone, which is essentially one of these, but this is an upgrade. This is 1800, this is 3000 mAh, so I probably could have used this Bugs 3 one. But anyways, it comes with an XT30 connector, a balance lead, and so all I did was take the red wire and the black wire and connect it to negative and positive. Now this is the connector that was on the original Skycontroller 2 battery, but I didn't get telemetry. It would power it on if I just connected to red and black, but I wouldn't have telemetry, and obviously the idea here is to have telemetry. So what I did is I tapped into the balance port. So the red and the black are connected here like normal, which I suppose I could have done all of this through the balance connector, but I chose to do it a little higher because it made sense, just because I needed the wires to go out and then be able to connect this to the outside. So I went ahead and put the connectors higher up here. So red and black on the main power connector, and then I ran a balance lead for the blue wire all the way down to the center balance port. So if we're looking at it on this one, it would be the middle red on this battery. So it's always going to be the middle line on a 2S battery. Okay, so you're going to have red, black, whatever the middle balance wire is the one that you're tapping into. I didn't have telemetry, proper battery telemetry, until I patched in the middle wire into the center lead of the balance port. Okay, so now I can use this Lipo like normal. I can charge it with my hobby grade charger if I want to. I can leave this connected to the back of the drone and plug it into this B3 Pro compact balance charger right here. And believe it or not, it charges very quickly. This is 3000 mAh. This would take forever to kill. Now this says that this is the original Parrot Skycontroller battery is 2700 mAh at 19.98 with a 7.4 discharge on 5.4 amp continuous discharge. You could essentially charge this if you wanted to, if I could find another way to get this to work. On a hobby grade charger, but anytime that I try to tap into this balance lead and try the same thing with this on a hobby grade charger, I would get all sorts of warnings, and it would only charge one of the battery cells instead of two, so it would only ever reach like 62% battery charge. By doing it this way, it allows me to run any Lipo that I want to of my choice, and I can charge it on any charger that I have at my house. I'm not limited to just the Skycontroller setup. Charge pack. So it's I know it looks a little sloppy. It was just a kind of a first creation here. I will go back and do this a little differently the second time around, but Colin, I made this for you. So all I did was red wire and black wire tapped in like normal, and then I took the balance lead, the center wire, and I went right to the center lead on the balance wire here, and I tapped in, and now I get proper telemetry on the app as well as the Skycontroller. So when I plug this in, which we're going to go ahead and do right now, just to show you guys that this does work properly, and I have been testing this quite a bit if anybody was curious. I am going to plug it in. If I can get it in here. There we go. Alright, so it is plugged in. You guys can see that. It's plugged in like normal. I'm going to go ahead and turn this around, and we're going to turn on the Skycontroller. See what I mean? Works flawlessly. I've had no problems with it. As the battery drains, it tells me the drain that's happening, and so far it's been 100% accurate. I've had no issues with this setup. It hasn't burned out the controller. It hasn't done anything crazy. So you guys can run your own Lipos. I wouldn't run a battery with a discharge that was too high. Let me go ahead and turn this off. I wouldn't run this on a battery that had a massive discharge rating. I believe this is only a 35C 35C discharge. I wouldn't go like 45, 60, 70, 100C. I would keep it in the lower bands, anything from 10C to probably 35C, but I wouldn't go any higher than that. It would be putting too much power, and it wouldn't require all that discharge rate. It wouldn't be necessary to have that. It's a lot easier for the battery pack to go bad the higher the C rating is. So more potential for it to expand over time if you're not using it. So anyways, guys, that was the Skycontroller 2 Lipo battery mod. If anybody had questions, I hope that answers it for you. It was very simple to do. I'm sure someone maybe at some point has already figured this out, but I've seen absolutely no videos about this, and nobody's talked about it, and so I figured it was time to make a video, and Colin has been waiting for me to figure out a way for this to work, and as you can see, I have figured out a way for this to work. So anyways, guys, drone worship, and I'm out. Toodaloo, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Boost my algorithm, give me some love, and I'll catch you guys on the flip.